Thinking about buying a franchise? Then the How to Buy a Franchise show is just for you. Here's your host, Dr. John Hayes.
Hi, I'm John Hayes. I blog at howtobuyafranchise.com. And my guest today on the How to Buy a Franchise show is Pat Scully, who's franchisee of the Exercise Coach in Dallas, Texas. Pat, welcome to the
program.
John.
Thank you for
coming
me.
to spend some time with us. So let's begin. Let's back up a little bit. You've been a franchisee, you said, for 4 years.
Correct.
And you weren't a franchisee prior to that. Was this your first time to become a franchisee?
Yes, it was. And it wasn't my intention to begin with.
Very good. So what did you do? What was your career before franchising? What were you doing?
Well, I was in the Army for 6 years.
Okay.
And then after I got out of the Army, I joined Electronic Data Systems here in Dallas, Texas, EDS.
Okay.
And I was with EDS for 23 years. And then after that, I was with a startup company for a couple of years. And then my wife and I decided to move to Scottsdale, Arizona. And while I was in Scottsdale, I got involved in nonprofits and did some work with nonprofits there before, for personal reasons, family reasons, we decided to move back to Dallas.
Okay. And then what led to franchising?
Well, my wife and I have always wanted to do something together in business.
Okay.
And we thought, well, this is a good opportunity for us. When we were in Scottsdale, she was actually working in corporate America. Her background had always been in HR. Mine had been in account management with EDS. So we thought we would make a pretty good business team together.
Okay.
So we decided we wanted to find a small business that we could buy. And we got busy looking for that through a broker and spent quite a bit of time and were not successful.
Okay.
So we saw a lot of different things.
Was it a franchise broker?
No,
or just a regular business broker?
Just a regular business broker.
We couldn't find a business that you liked, or
we found some that we liked. They were just not the right time to buy them.
Okay.
It was it's pretty difficult actually finding businesses that that are being sold at the right time.
Sure.
And so our broker finally said to us that you should consider franchises. And our perception at the time was that franchises were more in the food type industry,
Yes.
which we didn't want to be in.
Right.
And she educated us that no, there's a lot of
Yeah.
different opportunities out
Yes.
there. And she introduced us to a franchise broker.
Okay. Well, it's amazing how many people think, oh yeah, franchising, that's McDonald's, that's Burger King, that's Chick-fil-A. And yes, it is. But fast food or food in general is only one segment of franchising. There are 4,000 different franchise opportunities in North America alone. And many of them are non-food businesses.
Right.
So you then got introduced to a franchise broker.
Right.
Did you, other than thinking that franchising was food, did you have any negative thoughts or opinions, or had you heard negatives about franchising?
Yeah, of course, you hear a little bit of the negatives from some people talking about, you're going to have to pay the royalty fee and you're going to, at times you're going to feel like that's too much. That didn't bother us too much. It was more, we wanted to be in something healthy.
Okay.
And my wife and I had always focused on our personal health and exercised, and we had never thought about that as a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only reason we weren't focused on franchising. My background in EDS, I was more focused on something that was going to be technology-based as a small business, or something engineering, because my background in college had been in engineering. So that was more my focus of what we were looking for.
Yeah. So when you started to explore franchising, did you read books, or did you watch videos, or did you just depend on the broker to educate you? Or?
Our broker did a great job. Yeah. She spent lots and lots of time with us on the phone. We had never met her.
Okay.
It was all on the phone or on video conferencing, and she interviewed us about in depth of our background, what we like to do, what we didn't like to do, etc. And then that probably went on for 2 or 3 weeks. And at the culmination of that, she presented us with 3 opportunities.
Okay.
Very different opportunities.
Oh, good.
For us to examine, and she encouraged us to do our due diligence on all 3 and take all 3 through the process. What we ended up doing is we looked at all 3 very carefully. One we eliminated for reasons that we didn't think in the long term selling it was, we didn't believe that we were going to be able to build the asset that we wanted.
Okay.
On one of them, so we eliminated it and had it down to 2. And we did visits at both of those.
Okay.
And when we went to Chicago and visited the exercise coach, we were just very impressed, blown away,
Good.
and got real excited about it.
Without using the brand name, what was the industry of the other business you were looking at, franchise you were looking at?
The other one was in the painting area.
Okay. All right. So you decided exercise, which was something you and your wife liked.
Yes.
Because you were doing that to begin with. And, you weren't two 30-year-olds getting into business.
No.
It was a little later in your career.
Right.
Because you'd already retired from EDS.
Yes.
And so did it bother you that you were going to invest in a franchise in later years, or that wasn't an obstacle?
No, it really wasn't. I had almost semi-retired. And when I was working in the nonprofits, I was working maybe at the most 30 hours a week. And I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy not being full-time, not being fully engaged.
Right.
And I knew that what was going to make me happy was being back in the game.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Having fun with it.
And one of the interesting things here is that you and your wife are ideal candidates. So franchisors love a mature couple who you didn't have to scramble around for money necessarily, I'm assuming.
Right.
So, and you had some experience. And so to come into a franchise later in your career is a huge advantage. You said something else that was very important. You weren't just buying a business just to operate it for a few years and then you're going to say, okay, well, we'll call it quits. We're finished now. You were buying it to build an asset to sell it.
Correct.
So how clear was that? And was that the franchise broker who gave you that insight, or did you have that already?
No, we had that already. And we had read enough books to know that, in order to really be successful, you need to have the right objective in mind and to have a long-term one. Ours, we have our challenge is this is a brand new franchise, pretty much.
Yeah.
It had never been outside of Chicago. We were the first ones to take it out of Chicago, bring it to Texas. And so the challenge was you got to build a brand. And we loved the challenge of saying, okay, we're going to be the first ones out of Chicago. We're going to have a lot of work ahead of us. This is going to be, when we're done with this, we're going to be able to say, well, we did something really good.
Good. So that was 4 years ago that you bought in. And how big is the Exercise Coach now as a franchise?
Well, now the Exercise Coach has 40 locations across the United States and has sold a master license in Japan.
Oh, great.
So they're going good.
Good. So let's get to the concept. People, so you either like exercise or you like me, you don't like exercise particularly.
Correct.
So is the Exercise Coach going to make me like exercise?
Well, the Exercise Coach is actually built for people just like you who don't like exercise.
Okay.
You're the perfect candidate for us. Our primary objective is overall health. So we're looking for people who have, maybe they have high blood pressure and they don't like being on blood pressure medicine, or they want to get off the statins and not have to worry about their cholesterol because of the side effects of whatever it is. What we have built is an exercise program that is focused not on how much exercise you can endure, but what is the right dose of exercise for you to get in a weekly period. and how do we design it in a way that it is healthiest for your body. So when you think about it, most people will go to the gym and see how much they can endure.
Yeah.
And they think that that's the way to get healthy.
And the last time I did that, I got a hernia.
Yeah, so they get injured, and then they can't exercise anymore. Well, that's not really healthy.
Yeah.
And we look at, we look at professional athletes as an example, and we think that they are super fit, and so they must be super healthy.
Yeah.
And we equate fitness and health together. We think they correlate. But the fact is we know plenty of professional athletes who are extremely fit, who are not healthy. Okay? We don't want to end up that way.
Yes.
And so what is the right way to exercise so that we can improve our fitness while not negatively impacting our health? And that's what we do. So it's 20 minutes twice a
20-minute
week.
workout twice a week.
Twice a week, and that is all you need.
Wow. So you go to a gym. You have built a gym. You have
We have a little
machines
studio.
and it's not a typical.
It's not a typical gym. It's a small studio, about 1,500 square feet. The machines that we have are proprietary. They're ours. They were invented by Brian Seigan, who is the founder of the Exercise Coach.
Okay.
And they are extremely unusual. And anytime when people come in and see the machines, they say, well, that looks kind of like what you would see in the gym, until they get on it. And then they go, wow, I've never been on anything like this.
Okay.
So what it does is it allows us to totally stimulate a muscle group in less than 2 minutes in an exercise. So that we can go through 7 to 8 exercises and give someone a full body workout, and then do a very quick 5-minute high intensity interval cardio session, and they've gotten all of the cardio that they need.
And in 20 minutes you're finished.
Done.
Yeah. Now, is it typically a younger crowd or older crowd, or everybody's doing this?
Well, everyone is doing it. We've got a 15-year-old working out with his dad, and we've got a 93-year-old in there doing it too. So the machines, they don't care if you can push 2 or 3 pounds, or if you can push 200 or 300 pounds. They will be able to assess you and your strength and challenge you to go a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and get stronger and stronger.
And then where does the coaching come in? How do you...
It's one-on-one coaching, so you always have a coach with you at the Exercise Coach. And most of the people who we have, that's why they come to us. They want the accountability of knowing that a coach is, if they know a coach is waiting for them, they're going to show up.
Yeah.
They have an appointment. So it's by appointment only.
Okay.
So they come in, they have their coach. Their coach has designed a routine specifically for them based upon what their capabilities are and what their goals are. So when a client comes in to the Exercise Coach, we measure their body composition, then we measure their strength on all of the exercises, then we measure their endurance. And that becomes their baseline. From there, they're going to get regular reports from us on how they're progressing, and we will set goals in all of the areas.
Okay.
And then the coaches are designing the routines that help them achieve those goals. So if they're not moving forward, I'm talking to the coaches and saying, what's happening here with this client? We need to change things up.
Okay. And what does this cost a client? How much does it cost to join the Exercise Coach?
Well, there's different ways that people pay for it. One is the normal way is a monthly membership. So they're paying by the month, and if they're either getting results or they're not. If they're not happy, they leave. If they're happy, they just keep coming. So it's not where we lock them in.
Okay.
Now, we do offer discounts for people who are willing to pay upfront for longer periods of time, and we allow people to buy packages of sessions. So let's say that you travel a lot in your business. So you wouldn't be able to come consistently every week for 2 sessions, but you could buy a package of sessions and use them as you can.
Okay.
So that...
But if I want a monthly membership, let's say, and I'm going to come twice a week, typically, what's that going to cost me?
That's going to cost you $349 a month.
Okay.
So when you look at that on a per session basis, that comes out to a little over $40 a session. And when you compare that with personal training in a gym, those costs are anywhere from $80 to $200 for a session. So so it becomes very cost effective.
And then what does it cost to become a franchisee? If I'm interested in setting up a studio, and how many locations do you have?
We have three.
Three locations.
Three here in Dallas.
So what's it going to cost me to become a franchisee of the exercise coach?
It's going to cost somewhere between $200,000 and $250,000 all in to get it started. And that's for, that's your equipment, that's getting your studio set up.
Okay. You opened your first studio, and how long until you had clients coming in and you were making some money?
Oh, well, we had clients coming in day one. You set up for that and get things ready. So we actually, in order to build our brand quickly here in Dallas, we knew that having one studio wasn't going to do it. So we opened two together, and we opened the third one within 3 months.
Okay.
So we opened three very quickly in the North Dallas area.
Great. And you recommend this to other people around the country? They should become a member of the exercise coach as a franchisee?
Yeah.
Something you and your wife both would endorse?
Well, we enjoy it. I mean, what we really enjoy are the results that we see with our clients. So when you have, and we've had a number of clients that have come to see us where they're on diabetes medicine and the doctors are all concerned about them. And we had one client who, within 3 months, she was off of all of her medications. She was off of her diabetes medication, her blood pressure, and her statins. And so when you can see those kind of results,
it makes you feel good.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, you're not only building a business, you're doing something good for people as well. Yeah, good. Well, good for you. Pat Scully has been my guest on the How to Buy a Franchise show. I'm John Hayes. I blog at howtobuyafranchise.com. Thank you for tuning in, and please look for more of our interviews on our YouTube channel.
Thank you for listening to How to Buy a Franchise Show. If you want immediate assistance, visit howtobuyafranchise.com to contact Dr. John Hayes for a free consultation.